Hey guys, John here with RealTruck.com. Today I'm going to show you how to install the DU-Ha Humpstor on this 2015 F350. Guys, you can see here we've got our Humpstor out of the box. You can see it comes with everything you need to get this in your truck, including the Humpstor box itself, plus also your dividers for your gun racks, your mounting brackets, and all the hardware and the instruction sheet needed to get this into the truck. So let's start putting this thing together, guys. Alright guys, we've got everything laid out on our bench here that we're going to use to install our Humpstor into our truck. The first thing we're going to do is to attach our handle, and we're going to use the two small hex-headed screws that came with our hardware kit and just slide those through the handle just like so. And then we're going to take our handle and put it up here on the top. And then we want to open up our lid. And then we have our two small flat washers and our two self-locking hex nuts. We're going to put our flat washer on and then our hex nut. And once we have those on, then we can take our supplied Allen head wrench that comes with our hardware kit and we can tighten these up. Alright guys, once your handle's attached to your Humpstor case, you can set it off to the side, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put together our clamps. You can see here they come in two separate pieces. Very easy to put it together. The round piece here just slides into the horseshoe part here. You slide it in together like that. You take this hex-headed bolt and just put it in here. And I'll usually just screw it in until it's flush with the back side, and then just set it aside. Okay guys, then we're going to start putting our brackets together. What we're going to do is we're going to take our bracket, and we're going to take our stabilizer foot, and then we have all these flange nuts. What you want to do is start attaching these to the flange nuts. Basically you want to put this one on, which will look like you're actually putting it on backwards, and then we're going to put it through the slot in our bracket, and then attach the other flange nut to the other end. And that one you'll actually put on the way it looks like it would be on there properly. And what that's going to do, that just allows us to adjust these and to be able to tighten this down so that you have them in some position that you want them in there. Now, we don't want to tighten any of this stuff down yet, guys, because we don't know until we get everything together on the truck exactly where it's going to sit, so you just want to leave those finger tight. And then I'm going to go ahead now and put together the other two brackets, and then I'll show you what to do next. As we have our clamps ready, what we want to do is start attaching our clamps, and we've already inserted our button head bolt on there. What we want is a 7/32 hex head, either an Allen wrench or a socket like this. We're going to take our clamp, we're going to put it up here, move it up as far as you can, and then one thing to keep in mind is to keep this straight when you're putting it on here, because you don't want to twist in or anything like that, because then it's not going to hold properly. We're going to go ahead and tighten this one down. Okay, that's perfect. We've got it between the two, from the center of the bolt head to the center of the bolt head. We have 51 3/4 inches, which is what we want. So then we can go ahead at this point and tighten this one down. 25 5/8, right about there is where we're going to put our other one. So we'll put it right here. And that's going to put us pretty close to the center. So we may have to move this one around just a little bit once we go to install our Humpstor into the truck, but it won't be that big of a deal, guys. All right, so once we have this one where we want it, then we can go ahead and tighten it down. All right, so next thing we're going to do then is we're going to start attaching our hanger brackets. So once we have all this ready to go here, then we can take our brackets and our 5/16 inch bolt with a flat washer and lock washer on it and attach these brackets onto here. Now we're going to want to leave these loose because we're going to need to adjust these up and down once we attach our Humpstor to that. All right guys, it's time to actually install our Humpstor case to our brackets. Now, at this point we have to make a decision. How do we want this installed? Because it can go one of two ways. You can either install this so that you can open it from this direction, so that way when you're on the outside of the pickup you can open it up to access it from the outside, or you could turn it around so that way this lid would open up to the outside and you'd only be able to access it from the inside of the bed. A little bit inconvenient I think that way, so we're going to go ahead and mount this so that you can access it from outside the bed. Alright guys, once we have this set up on our mounting brackets, then we're going to take our bolts with our washers and lock washers on them and attach them through the slots in these brackets and into the threaded pieces into the bottom of our Humpstor box. Don't want to tighten these down just yet. We just want to get them started and just a little bit snug so that way we can still move this thing around yet to actually get it all situated where we want it. We'll get the ones on the other end started and then we'll make some adjustments here. All right guys, once we have this thing sitting in here where we're going to have it, then we can go ahead and tighten up our brackets onto our clamps. Now something I should point out to you guys while we're tightening these up is that if you were to have a tonneau cover or something like that on this truck, this also comes with extenders. You can see how this box is up above the side rail a little bit here. If you had a tonneau cover, you probably wouldn't want that. So there's extenders that go on these to drop this down so you can get it down below your tonneau cover. If you're looking at this, you can see how much space there is between our Humpstor box and the side of our bed. Well, there's a reason for that, because we have this center latch here that we need to be able to actually get to unlock this. That allows us to open it from the outside of the truck box. If we were to want it all the way up against here, then we'd have to turn it around and make it so that it opens from the inside of the truck box because of these latches. Also, these latches have spots on them for padlocks to go on here, so you can padlock the center and both ends of this case, so you can keep stuff secure in here. Once we have our case in place where we want it, then we can go ahead and tighten these bolts on the bottom of our brackets that hold our case on, and the ones on the other end. So we'll tighten those up there. There you have it guys. That's how quick, simple, and easy it is to install this DU-Ha Humpstor into your truck. So remember guys, until next time, happy motoring.